Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, non-binaries of all ages, welcome to the show. If you're here to learn character creation, you've come to the wrong place because we're going to do cat creation. Technically, not that different, but it's with cats instead of regular guys. I am Joel Holland, one of your hosts.
I'm Austin Irwin, the other one of your hosts.
Well, Austin, it's a Tuesday.
It is a Tuesday, our average day of recording, not a Friday, not a Wednesday, but a Tuesday.
Correct. But it's not just any old Tuesday. And not just because it's a recording Tuesday either. It's a special Tuesday where we have a third person with us.
Oh my gosh. Who is this third person? I think I hear
Mystery person.
Who is this third person?
Hi. I, mystery person, am Laura. Yeah, Laura, she, her. Cat lover, fellow podcaster, fellow TTRPG enthusiast.
Nice.
Well, you're in the right place, it sounds like.
Yeah, this is all the things I like in one place. Pretty much. Cats, podcasts, TTRPGs, abusing the rules of systems to do the thing that you want to do without breaking them, just twisting them a little bit.
Bending them so heavily.
Yes.
The perfect intersection.
Yeah. We like to be some jacks of all trades, you know? We got a little bit of everything here.
Yeah. You get the rules
Yep.
all jacked up. That's how it goes.
So, Laura, would you like to tell us a little bit about your role-playing game credentials or podcasting credentials or whatever credentials or whatever? You know what? Just
Sure.
tell us a little bit about yourself.
Absolutely. Yeah. I came to TTRPGs through the most traditional method, I think, which is that a good friend of mine had been playing Dungeons & Dragons for years and wanted to try his hand at running games and needed guinea pigs to experiment on. And I joined a campaign midstream and immediately fell in love with it. The only thing different than most people is I did not do that at age 12 or 14. I did it at age about, what would that have been? About 35, 36. So I came to TTRPGs later in life than a lot of folks do, but I'm doing my best to catch up. I am a cast member on $2 Creature Feature, which is a Monster of the Week podcast with the Q Times Gaming Network. I can plug those socials at the end. I don't want to delay things more now, but yeah, absolutely fell in love with Monster of the Week and the mechanics and the community of it and the stories we get to tell. And that has grown to a great fondness for other Powered by the Apocalypse systems. So we are gonna get to use one of those today. So I'm very excited.
You know, I always say better late than never. And really, there's no catching up to doing RPGs. If you've got an imagination and some people willing to share in that imaginary world, you're already there.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And just for context, dear listeners, this is the same podcast that Mr. Ray was on talking about back in, what was that, December?
I believe so.
Yeah.
Did we record that in December or release that in December?
It's been a while. I can't remember.
Yeah, so when you all created the Cat and Dethrone the Divine actually has a very special place in my heart because that was actually the first game I played besides D&D, and it was to help Ray playtest it when he was developing Dethrone. Why he thought I was qualified to playtest a game when I had played literally one game ever in my life, I will never know, but I'm very grateful that playtest actually brought together the season 1 cast of $2 Creature Feature. and I love it very much. It is a very fun game, and the cat that you all made in it was delightful. As all cats are, as most cats are.
Yeah,
The majority of cats are delightful.
Yeah, I wouldn't give the delightful tag to every cat. I've met some not great cats in my day.
They're out there. They're for sure out there. Yeah.
But most of them, they get a pass because they're cute.
But enough about that. Let's talk about today's game.
What is today's game?
Yeah. Sure. You know what I should do is
you can just say the name. It's fine.
Okay. I was gonna look up who made it.
Oh, it's on the cover of the book.
Which I don't have the cover.
The PDF is not loading, so I was gonna
Michael oh no wait, that's the art. Who wrote it?
I was gonna be funny and just say it, but my PDF is not loading, so
Alright, we can't find that right now. That's okay. Dear.
Oh, my PDF is loaded. Okay, so the game is Masks: A New Generation by Brendan Conway, published by Magpie Games.
There we go. Thank you. Yeah, and the core book, I will say also the book has fantastic art by Michael Lunsford, which is some of my favorite art in TTRPGs, honestly.
It is
That's
pretty good
literally
art.
the first thing I look at when we look at a new RPG. Is what does the art look like?
Yes.
And does it slap? Can confirm Masks art does slap.
Yes. Yeah, it lives up to its comic books of legacy. But yeah, so Masks: A New Generation is a powered by the apocalypse system. Probably, I'm going to guess the majority of your listeners are familiar with apocalypse games, but for any who aren't, it is a 2d6 system with various modifiers. And you roll 2 6-sided die and add them, and then add or subtract any modifiers you have. And if you get a 10 or greater, that is a full success, and you get some sort of interesting little bonus things along with that. If it is a 9 to 7, it is a mixed success, and the thing you're trying to do will happen, but there may be some consequences or complications. And then if you get 6 or lower, that is a failure. One of the fun things about Powered by the Apocalypse games is they are sort of a fail-forward system, so failing feels a little bit better than it does in other systems because failing is how you level up. Let's see, so Masks, I won't get into all the details here, but in Masks you do have the what do you call it, sort of character stats you have are danger, freak, savior, superior, and mundane. And those help shape the kind of character you are. In Masks, you're playing as a superhero, but specifically a very young superhero. The Masks characters are intended to be, I would say, generally in their teens or probably early 20s. And one of the things that makes it particularly fun, I think, and that I am excited to see how this interacts with cats, is that a lot of it is based on emotional conditions that rather than taking physical harm as such, you tend to experience an emotional condition as we all do as adolescents learning our places in the world, and that helps shape the action of the game. So it's a really fun mechanic.
I've not had much experience playing this game, but there's this podcast, what's it, Apex City or something like that, and I love listening to that because it's always fun because the characters themselves are virtually invincible. The only way you get to anyone is by hurting their feelings.
Yes, that's exactly what it is. Don't worry about dying. You're not going to die. You might die of embarrassment. Yeah.
But anyway, so yes, we're going to be making a character in this system, in this wonderful superhero themed game. Probably not going to make another mugger with a katana. That's
Darn it.
yeah, that's a Marvel licensed property basically at this point. This book, like if you look at the playbooks and stuff, most of them are very heavily styled after like the Teen Titans. So, like we were just kind of going over this before we started, but like you've got the Beacon, who kind of, it looks like he fills the role of like the Robin of the party. The Delinquent would be maybe Red Arrow, although he's not a Teen Titan. He's Green Arrow's sidekick. The Outsider, very obviously a reference to Starfire, and so on and so forth. We'll get more into that when we actually start looking at the playbooks, but we're not ready to look at the playbooks yet, because I don't know if this will be entirely obvious to our listeners, especially if you've not been here before, but we tend to ignore any rules in the book, or bend them, however you will, in order to make our cats work. But we do have some rules about how we can break the rules that the podcast has to follow. And Austin and I are going to go over those for you real quick right now. Starting with rule number 1, we accept no cop-outs. We're making a cat. We're making the exact animal that comes to mind when I say the word. It fits in your lap. It purrs. It scratches and bites you. It's a cat. It's not, we can't do anthropomorphic races. No people turned into cats. It has to be born this way. It can't be a lion, a tiger, cheetah. I don't know. What's some other cop-out you could come up with? Jaguar.
The car, obviously.
No Khajiit.
No Khajiits. No tabaxis.
Definitely no tabaxis.
Rule number 2 is we cannot use homebrew/house rules. If the rules in the rule book do not explicitly allow something to happen, we count it as a broken rule. And if we come across a written versus intended situation, we go with whichever one tells us we can't. Doesn't happen, we'll bring it up.
It's happened once or twice.
Yeah.
When was the last time it was relevant?
Oh man, the good question.
Man, I can't think of the last time we had a rules as intended situation. I think was Monster of the Week.
Yeah, so we may run into it again this week.
Who knows? But anyway, if the game includes stats for a literal cat, those must be used or adapted to this game's character sheet. I don't think that's gonna apply here.
No.
I can't imagine that it would.
There is no superhero cat in the rules.
Didn't think
Well,
so.
there's gonna be when we're done.
Is there a threat from like the pre-made threat cards, which I know exist, but I don't have?
Ooh, I don't know. I don't have them either.
Well, we're gonna pretend they don't have one then.
Yeah. I mean,
Alright.
that's not a playable. That's not a playable character.
But we could learn
Alright.
something from it. If it existed, which we can't prove it does.
We don't have access to that kind of information. Speaking of things we have access to, the character, class, background, playbook, job, what have you, has to exist in the game's core rules or as part of an official expansion. Can't use homebrew classes. I don't believe we have any expansions laid out today.
Technically, Masks has some expansions, but I don't have them. Laura, I don't think has them. So we're going with what the core book has.
Alrighty.
I am right about that. You don't have them, Laura.
No, I do not.
Cool. We're gonna ignore them then. Anyway, the cat can learn any skill available to its class, even if it's not something a cat could normally be trained to do. We've had other superhero cats. We've had cats that could see ghosts. We've had a cat that could see ghosts that also knew how to drive a horse-drawn carriage.
I would argue all cats can see ghosts.
That's just a normal thing cats can do.
that's like a base cat ability.
I can't deny the possibility of that being true.
Rule number 6 is if a tool would be physically impossible for a literal cat to use, even if comically downsized for them, they can't use it. They're not allowed.
Yep.
Cement mixers? No. Sewing machines? Get out of here. I can't believe you would even suggest that. Graphing calculators? They can push the buttons. Do they have the knowledge? Probably not.
If they're trained for it.
If they're trained for it, yes. But I could give a graphing calculator to my cat. I don't think he'd be much use.
Could he type in 80085 at least?
Yeah, absolutely. Kidding me?
Oh, that's all he needs. Alright, let's see. If a character sheet has a section that is meant to be filled out in collaboration with the whole table, we leave it blank so potential players can make it fit the group they're playing with.
We gotta give the power to the people, man.
Mm-hmm.
But our final rule is Rule 8. We have to keep track of every rule that we break. It is usually not too many. You never know. I'm waiting for the day we go dive into a system and we break 20 rules. I think that would be hilarious.
That will be the day. The thing is, most systems, they have a couple things for you to get past. You have to get past the fact that you're not supposed to play as anything other than a human, and then you have to get past the fact that the cat literally cannot use any of these tools. And then, but once you ignore those two things, and you come up with some weird thing the cat can do, you're golden.
Yeah.
In this game, I don't think that's going to be a problem, because I'm not sure there is a requirement that you have to play as a human, or even a humanoid species, considering that I have heard someone play the bull class as a literal bear.
Oh, I like that a lot. Yeah, I would say there are, and we can get into this next, but there are playbooks that more suggest a humanoid or at least relatively normal appearing human, and ones that suggest definitely not a normal humanoid, and then there are some that are pretty flexible.
Yeah. Do you want to just go through all the classes real quick, or do you have any that you think in particular would be good?
I was kind of looking at a short list. Well, okay. I say a short list. I just counted up it's half of them. So it's it's a shorter list. But there are
starting
10.
Point.
Yeah, there are 10. I mean, we could just run through all 10 playbooks and give just the very quick sense of what kind of archetype this is.
Yeah.
Or we can just start with a short list. Okay, either way.
So, I guess that's true. And I can read through the little thing that they've got here. That'll help us as well. So, first off, we've got the Beacon. Their descriptor is, you don't have to do this. You could probably have a safe, decent, simple life. It'd be nice, but come on. Superpowers, aliens, wizards, time travel. You're out of your depth, but who cares? This is awesome. Everybody should try it. The Beacon is basically someone who has no superpowers, who is going out and doing superhero stuff with actual superheroes. Their stylings is kind of leadership skills and whatnot, so they're kind of your Robin, except way more enthusiastic about it.
Yeah, they're kind of like a face character, I would say. They're inspiring.
Next class is the Bull. You're big, strong, and tough. You know what fighting really is, and you're good at it. Sure, you've got a soft side too, but you only show that to the people you care about most. Everybody else, they can eat your fist. So the Bull is kind of like a cyborg type character. The important thing about the Bull is yes, they have superpowers, but it's because of something that was done to them. Cyborg did not become a cyborg because he wanted to be. A laboratory did that.
Yeah.
And the bear that I was talking about earlier gained sentience when they were installed with cybernetics and an AI unit. That's their backstory. Then we have the Delinquent. You've got these cool powers, but everyone keeps telling you how to use them. You know what they need? Someone to give them trouble to make sure they don't always get their way. And hey, you're the perfect hero to do it. Then we have the Doomed, who, if you can see the illustrations for this, you will immediately identify it as Raven from Teen Titans inspired. Something about your powers dooms you. It's just a matter of time before your doom comes for you. Until then, though, you've got a nemesis who needs fighting and a world that needs saving. After all, it's better to burn out than fade away. Then you have the Janus, who I can't exactly figure out who the Janus is supposed to be. They kind of sound like Spider-Man, honestly.
Yeah, that's what I think.
Breakfast, school, work, homework, sleep, repeat. It burns you up being stuck in this life, unable to make a real difference. That is, until you put on the mask. And then you can be someone else. A hero. Then you have the Legacy. You're the latest in a storied heroic lineage, a family that shares a name and a cause. Now everybody is watching and waiting to see if you've got what it takes to uphold that tradition. No pressure, right? The Nova. You're a font of power, channel it, and you can remake the world into exactly what you want. Unleash it and you can do miracles. It's wonderful and terrifying. Lose control for even a second and other people get hurt. Then you have the Outsider, who, I don't know if I said this already, they're one that's like, they're supposed to be Starfire, basically. You're not from here. Your home is an amazing place, full of beauty and wonder. But there's something to this place, something special that you're missing back home. Something human. So yeah, you'll be hanging around, at least for now. Then two left. Protege is the next one. You proved yourself to an experienced hero. They think you've got what it takes. They've been training you for a while, and now you have to decide. I can't read this.
Them.
Oh,
yeah, I don't. This one. Why is that one? That one is just like in smaller print than literally all the other blurbs. And I don't know why.
Smaller prints.
Yeah.
Okay, so
anyway.
I have zoomed in. Yes, it says, do you want to be them, or will you find your own path? And that's the Protege. Finally, we have the Transformed, who kind of looks like Beast Boy from the artwork. You can recall a time not too long ago when you looked normal, when you didn't feel their stares, when you didn't hear their gasps, when no one thought of you as monsters. Those were the days, huh? And those are our playbooks. So, you said you had some that you thought sounded good for a cat. Let's hear them.
Yeah. I think, and I have narrowed down this list even as we went through these again. The ones that jump out to me are the Beacon, which has that sort of every man just kind of here to have fun charm. The Delinquent. I feel like I don't even need to explain why that's a cat.
Absolutely not.
Yeah. The Janus, which is the one that has like the superhero life and the mundane life, which I think could be a really fun cat. House cat by day, superhero by night. Yeah, and then I think there are others that I think could work. I was initially also thinking about the Outsider and the Transformed. I feel like that might start to break your rule about it has to be a literal cat.
Well, we've had cats that, like, we had a magical girl cat that could transform into kind of a Panther Lily type character with a whip. So I think you could do the Transformed, but, like, I don't know. If the system doesn't require it, which this one doesn't because we've got other playbooks, I would prefer to go a different way.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, and then, like, I think there could also be either legacy or protege, where, like, maybe this is actually the cat of a human superhero.
Oh, and he needs to be trained like super dog style.
Yeah. So yeah, that's the not very short list in my mind.
I mean, it works.
I'm trying to remember, how did Super Dog get his power?
That's Superman's dog, right?
Yeah.
I think it was also from Krypton.
Crypto the Super Dog.
The dog's name is Crypto.
Yeah, his name is Crypto.
Very unfortunate.
Excellent and terrible. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
At least with a K, presumably.
We could hope.
Yeah, so this Crypto the Super Dog is apparently Superman's dad puts this puppy into a launch pod for a test flight.
Oh no!
And then I guess Crypto destroys wires and causes the ship to release sleeping gas to put him in a deep sleep while it heads towards Earth. And he wakes up fully grown. So there you go. He does just have his powers from Krypton.
Yep.
All right. Well, good for him.
That's just how dogs are there.
Yeah, I mean, that's probably the best case scenario for Crypto, honestly.
Considering how all the Superboys get their powers, it's a very tame way to...
Yeah. But, like, you send a dog out as a test flight, and it doesn't come back, and you still send your son.
That's a good point.
It's like...
They were out of options.
I mean, sure, you could say, like, he was probably monitoring the pod or whatever, but in reality, it's like, hey, that dog didn't come back. What are you doing here?
Yeah, I mean, like, the three options there are Superman's dad was monitoring the pod. That's by far the best option.
Well, if he was monitoring the pod, then he would know something went wrong.
Yeah.
True.
I'm putting a baby in this pod.
Yeah.
The babies aren't much smarter than dogs.
They'll chew stuff up just as much. Yeah. Or, and this is the worst one, he saw something go wrong and then tested it a bunch more times.
Those dogs just didn't make it. There's a bunch of other Crypto dogs out there.
Yeah. Maybe they made it to other planets where they're properly appreciated.
Yeah, they're heroes. They're like, whoa, what is this weird creature?
They all made it to the farm upstate.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
So we could do Outsider if you guys wanted to go for a Crypto scenario.
I would prefer not to.
Yeah.
If that's okay with you. I do kind of like the idea of the protege, just like an actual superhero getting a pet that, like, just adopting a kitten from the pet store and being like, you need to be able to defend yourself in this world.
Well, and it also, like, the thing with the protege is,
Fluffles.
like, like, the protege sort of suggests that, like, the cat is a little bit tired of this role and is now ready to strike out on their own. Which I also really love.
Cat's like, I can fend for myself, Dad.
Yeah.
Check this shit out.
Goes
and takes down an entire army of bad guys.
Oh, good. Okay, should we look at their moves and see if their moves actually make sense for, or like are fun for a cat?
I guess so. Let's see. We've been reading the files. You've learned about the superhuman world through your mentor's resources. When you first encounter an important superpowered phenomenon, roll plus superior. On a hit, tell the team one important detail you've learned from your studies. The GM will tell you what, if anything, seems different from what you remember. On a 10 plus, ask the GM a follow-up question. They will answer honestly. On a miss, the situation is well outside your base of knowledge, and the GM will tell you why. And you have Captain. When you enter battle as a team, add extra team to the pool and carry +1 forward if you are the leader. All these people following a cat into battle.
Yeah, why wouldn't you?
Venting frustration. When you directly engage while you are angry, you can roll plus the label your mentor denies and clear angry. So, like, they explained earlier, danger, freak, savior, superior, mundane are the labels. Those are your stats. They can shift dramatically throughout play. Like, just on the roll of a dice, one of your own teammates has the power to shift your labels. But the mentor, like, in this case, embodies one of these traits. So, like, maybe they embody the danger, and they deny the mundane or something. That's just an example. It could be any of the stats. So yeah, that's something for this one. Fireside chat. When you seek advice from your mentor, roll plus the label they embody. On a hit, they tell you what to do. On a 10 plus, mark potential if you follow their advice and take +1 ongoing to follow through. On a 7 to 9, you get +1 forward to see it through if you do it their way. On a miss, they don't have time for you because something big has gone down. Mark a condition. Be mindful of your surroundings is the next move. When you assess the situation before entering into a fight, you may ask one additional question, even on a miss. So that's a nice little freebie. Just like get to look around. You notice nothing except for the one thing that you get told anyway.
Nice.
Heroic tradition is the final thing. When you give someone the advice that you think your mentor would give, you can roll plus the label your mentor embodies to comfort or support, instead of rolling plus mundane.
I think I could, yeah. I can imagine flavoring several of those for a cat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think so. So, we like the protege?
I like the protege. I think there's a lot we can do with it.
I love this.
Most games that we look at, they have like the moves and stuff on that you're going to be using a lot on page 1, and the stuff that you're not going to use as much on page 2. This one is the exact opposite.
Yes.
So let me just, where's the beginning here? If we start with our look.
Furry.
Yeah.
Let's see if we can adapt from one of these suggestions, and then we will get into that. Ambiguous man, shifting, transgressing woman, Asian or South Asian, Black, Hispanic / Latino, Indigenous, Middle Eastern, or what? Oh, okay. So these are, we choose one from each list, I guess.
Yeah. You said you're supposed to choose for like, I mean, and you can also just make up whatever look you want, obviously, but I think for like, quickly building a look, you sort of select one from each line.
All right, so I think we're gonna have to go with, for the first one, ambiguous, because it's not usually immediately obvious what gender a cat is. We're going to have to ignore the race thing. Do we want an athletic, compact, lean, or muscular cat?
I was thinking, I don't think we've ever had like a muscular cat. Like we tend to stick to like athletic and like lean, but we've never had a cat who's just absolutely shredded.
Not in their cat form, we haven't.
No.
I'm all for that. Yeah. I mean, especially like the cat of a superhero, like maybe the cat has kind of been training.
Yeah, exactly. This cat not only is agile, has normal cat agility, but they're just built different.
Pumping that cat iron.
Pumping that cat iron.
Alright, I think we can ignore the clothes thing for now.
I mean, do we want like a collar or something? Too noticeable for, or maybe they switch collar for their hero look.
I mean, do they have?
Yes.
Is the next option on the list though is costumes? So those are colorful costume, mentor's garb, protective wear, simple costume. What I think would be cool is if the cat had like a gadget collar, and the collar like fits out the costume.
Yeah.
On activation.
Yeah. I was picturing one of like what is this toy? I guess there weren't no toys like this. That like you can change the toy's outfit by like turning something inside out.
I think it would have to be something that the cat could activate on their own.
Yeah. Maybe yeah.
If it uses its hind leg to like scratch a specific part of the collar.
Yes.
Yeah. Like there's a button on the collar that they have to press, and it's put in a place where they could easily reach it with either probably not a front paw, but like you said, a back paw.
I like that.
Yeah. The only issue is like it is a noticeably thick collar.
Well, it's a noticeably thick cat, so
yeah, I guess that's true. That's true. You got me there.
I'm picturing like, does the collar, when the cat scratches the collar, does it just turn into like a little cape that unfurls?
That in part depends on what the mentor is, and I think we can get more into like exactly how the costume works by looking at what the mentor does, because
Yeah.
we get to do that next. Actually, you are someone's protege. Your powers largely mimic theirs, but each of you is in some way unique. Pick one ability you both share, and one ability for each of you that is uniquely yours. So the mentor's abilities are superhuman physique, weapons and gadgets, stealth, detective skills, hacking, power mimicry, body elasticity, powerful armor, telepathy, intimidation and fear, impossible fighting skills, or elemental control.
Okay, it might be really fun if they share telepathy so that they can communicate.
Yeah. I like
Yeah.
that. And that also allows the cat to then communicate with the rest of the team.
Mhm.
Yeah, true. But wait, does that mean then the rest of the team can't communicate with the cat?
I mean, if it can read
Which I'm fine with. I'm
Like,
completely fine with that.
If the cat is capable of projecting thoughts and it can read, and it's also able to read their thoughts, then
Yeah.
I don't think they would know necessarily they're communicating with the cat, at least not at first.
Yeah. No, that absolutely makes sense. This literally is how something that one of my D&D characters has works. It's like I can talk to you in your brain, but then I can also just read your thoughts. So you don't have to talk back. I already know.
I mean, whatever works, right?
Yeah.
Truly.
What do we think? I think it would be funny if, like, the reason that the mentor wants you to be so physically strong is if their other superpower that's unique to them is superhuman physique.
It's almost like
So, our mentor is a telepath with superhuman physique who's trained their cat to be as strong as felinely possible.
Like, don't worry.
That's very fun.
You'll be fine.
Yeah, I like
Trust
that.
me, I'm training you properly for this.
Like Martian Manhunter without the shape shifting.
Can I tell you? Oh my god, I do not have like a deep history of classic comics.
Me neither.
And I recently heard somebody talking about Martian Manhunter, and the entire way through the conversation, I thought this was a superhero named Marsha Manhunter, like the woman's first name. And I was so excited about this, like, Marsha Manhunter. This is badass. And then I found out it was Martian, and I was still delighted, but in a very different way.
I just love that his name is, like, pronounced in English as John Jones.
John Jones.
Oh god.
Yes, it's spelled, like, weird, like a Martian would spell it, but it that's how you pronounce the name, is just John Jones.
I like it.
So what's our cat's unique ability?
Do we want something that is like very typical of a cat, or something that is very untypical of a cat? Because I mean, like one of them is stealth, which, I mean, yes.
Well, those are
sure.
the mentor's abilities. I think we can give ourselves like a unique twist.
Oh, okay.
It's like the shared ability doesn't even have to come from the mentor ability list, but I do like the idea of doing telepathy as the shared ability. Like, he's established this telepathic link with the cat who can then use it with other people. Just patch them into the mental network real quick.
Yes. So that's what makes a leader. All right, then cat. Okay. Cat only then.
I do think this could be something that's, like, uniquely, like, what's something that we would typically think of as, like, a cool power that a cat would have?
Mind control.
I
Yeah.
don't know about that.
We've done something similar in, like, a cat can very easily persuade a human
That's true, we have
because
done
of
that.
their looks.
Yeah, just like being extremely charming and yeah.
But I don't.
In terms of
I don't know how I feel about outright mind control.
Yeah, I'm going a bit too hard in the paint.
So what about, so if this was a cat that was, like, if this was a cat that was rescued by the mentor,
Right.
do we think this cat was like a stray that was rescued, or do we think the mentor was like seeking out a cat companion with some sort of specific traits in mind?
I think
I
he walked past the animal shelter one day and heard a mental meow coming from inside.
I was literally about to say almost the same thing. Like he's
Love it.
walking through, and he hears this cat meow inside his mind. He's like, "Yo, hold up." He's like, "Wait, this has never happened to me. I gotta find this cat."
I love that. Okay. So the cat like might have actually grown, might have grown up in either on the street, or it could have been like bred in a sad kitten mill, or it's like is there something in the like the cat's?
We don't need to know exactly how the cat got its telepathy.
No, yeah, no. I'm just thinking. I'm thinking for the ability that the cat has only.
Okay.
Is there something in its background that would?
I mean, we could say that, like, got out of lab experiment, gets out of lab experiment, picked up by animal control, doesn't know how to use its telepathy with regular people yet, has to be trained for that. So it just gets picked up by animal control and is never seen again by the scientists who are testing on it until one day.
So maybe doesn't have some. Maybe doesn't have like some like unusually high understanding of scientific principles somehow.
Ooh,
Like
yeah,
this
if
cat.
if you're near,
Are we gonna make another engineer cat? Did it make
or
it?
not
like,
necessarily
or
an
like a
engineer.
chemist, maybe.
Oh,
We've
I
never
like
done
that.
a chemist
Because
cat
the
before.
thing is, oh my gosh, because here's the thing, because okay, so one of the rules is the cat can't like use things that a cat would not be able to use, but a telepathic cat can tell people how to do the thing.
Oh, so they've got somebody in the shop mixing it up for them.
Yeah.
Okay. I think in that case, if that's the way we're going, we just have this cat who's been physically trained to match the humanly strong mentor that he shares a psychic link with.
Yeah, I mean, maybe that's why the protege kind of wants to break away. Is the mentor is like really trying to train this cat into being like a physical fighter, and the cat's like, no, I want to do superhero chemistry.
I want to use my brains, not my brawn.
I am
Yeah.
a genius. I would be a bigger benefit to humanity by pursuing scientific research. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Like that.
All right, and I think that also gives us our cat's attitude.
Wait, is attitude listed?
Nope, that's just like if we
No,
if we're
that's
trying to
just- yeah.
decide some like personality traits, then that's. I think that gives us like kind of our, I guess, a guide on embodies versus denies, which is the next thing on the list here.
Totally.
Yeah, hold on. What are we putting down for the cat's own ability?
I think genius like / chemistry knowledge maybe, like the thing that made them telepathic also made them highly intelligent, like gorilla
Gotcha.
Grodd, but very small.
Ooh. Sort of like, yeah, okay. There's sort of like a Rats of Nim situation happening here.
Yeah, kinda. Except it's the
I
cats
don't
of
know what
Nim.
that is.
Oh.
Good
Yeah,
one.
right.
I can assume. I can assume that was a good one.
Wait, have you never seen The Secret of Nim?
The Secret
So
of
good.
Nim. I've seen Nim's Island. Is that the same?
I don't think so.
Probably not.
What is?
Is
The
it about
Secret of
rats?
Nim? How do you?
Oh,
No.
Definitely not.
All right, then it's not the same. It was, I can't remember. Okay, so there's both a book and an animated film. I don't remember the author's name, but the film is was it Don Bluth?
Yes.
I'm looking at it. I'm looking at the Wikipedia right now.
I like just recently found out all the things that he made. It's like, oh, I had no idea these were all made by the same person, and he's incredible. But yeah, the premise is some rats escape from a lab, and there's sort of some not magic exactly, but they have been altered. And then there's also a relatable quasi pioneer family of mice with the classic sickly youngest child.
Yeah.
And it's very wonderful. My memory is fuzzy because I haven't seen it since I was probably 9, but I watched it a lot when I was 9.
Yeah. Man, it's got a 93%.
It was a good movie.
Crazy.
Wow. Yeah.
Anyway, back bring it back together. I think if we're saying that our mentor values strength, then they would either probably be savior or danger.
Ooh.
Or maybe freak. But I kind of think like if they're kind of like this pillar of strength who also has great mental prowess, maybe I think they would lean savior.
I do too. And that I feel like that also really plays into like why would they adopt this cat and try to train it up in their image?
Mm-hmm.
Like that's kind of a savior thing to do, I feel like.
It's like, oh, this cat has the same ability as me. Obviously, I can train them to be better than me.
Yeah.
You know? I can train them to save more people.
Whereas the cat, I think, with its value of its own intelligence, honestly, I think it would make sense that, like, yes, superheroing is all they know, but if they genuinely think that their knowledge of chemistry will save more people, then they might not value being a superhero as highly. So I think they're either superior or mundane.
So the protege, actually on the next, our label, our like stats for those labels for the protege are on the next page. That's already set for us. But yeah, so that one superior is the highest, which I think totally makes sense. But which label do we think the mentor denies?
I kind of want to say mundane.
I think we've got a super strong psychic mentor, then he is he's not going to value the mundane as much.
Yeah.
I feel like the mentor might consider like chemistry and stuff mundane. It's like this is stuff regular people can do. We're not regular. Like we're the heroes of this story.
Yes.
And who knows, like with as many lab experiments gone wrong as there are in comics, and this is a world that's just like a microcosm of all comics on one city, right? A thing where like he actually has an active distrust of scientists.
I would believe it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think it would make sense for mundane to be the thing that is less valued.
Yeah, I think that totally makes sense.
All right.
And with that in mind, I'm just going to go over this real quick because I don't think we get to do anything about this right away. Our default labels are danger, -1, freak, 0, savior, +1, superior, +2, and mundane, 0.
I think we do get to add a +1.
Oh yes, at character creation, add +1 wherever you choose. So we can make one of these better.
I'm gonna make a pitch for freak. It is a telepathic cat that has become extremely muscular.
Very
and
jacked.
Knows how to do chemistry.
Right. Very jacked, very telepathic cat.
I can't even I can't even think of an argument not to go with that.
Yep, it's a freak. We got it. Got it in one.
Oh, all right.
And we've already kind of talked about some of these. We can skip conditions because that's play stuff. Backstory.
Yeah, that's
I think we're supposed to answer all of these questions. Not that they actually gave us a line to do that on or anything, but, you know. So how did you first meet your mentor? We've already established. Met at the animal shelter when Cat meowed psychically. When and why did you choose to train with them? Was adopted. Am Cat. Didn't have much choice at first. Why did they agree to train you? Psychic meowing.
Yes, also hubris.
Yeah, probably a little bit of hubris. Who else outside of the team knows about your training? I guess that most super strong superheroes are very public-facing figures, right? They're kind of like beacons or pillars of strength that the average everyday citizen kind of consciously or unconsciously relies on in the day-to-day to take care of the big threats so that they can worry about their mundane problems.
Yeah.
So I feel like most people would know that this guy has a sidekick, right? Because if he's public facing, then his cat is probably also just right there with him most of the time.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we were talking before about Crypto and the various other canonical super pets. I mean, like maybe the general public is aware of it in that sense, and just like yeah, this is just like a critter that has sort of a like watered down cute version of their owner's abilities, but certainly not any like thoughts or desires of their own.
Now, here's the thing, like the potential like wrench in that explanation is, do they mean like who knows that you are this person's protege, or do they mean who knows about the nature of your training?
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Because I feel like if we're going with if we're going with the first answer, it's a public figure, public-facing protege, right? If we're going with the second definition, I feel like maybe the lab eventually caught on and is keeping tabs on their creation in private, knowing that there is absolutely no way they can ever take it back.
Ooh. That is exactly what I was thinking, is that the lab somehow like is keeping tabs or like keeping track. Does the lab knowingly keep track of this cat? Or is this like they know, but the cat doesn't know that they're keeping tabs?
I don't think that the cat would have any reason to know unless they, accidentally read a stray thought or something.
Yeah, which is kind of unlikely.
Well, they are a telepathic cat, sorry. So it is more likely for them to do it than most people.
I feel like the lab people would know that, though, and they would be like, hey, don't get within like a certain range of this cat. All of us.
Unless
like,
you're wearing tinfoil.
Yeah, unless you're wearing tinfoil.
Yes, yeah, I was about to say, there's like a literal tinfoil hat protocol for this lab. Guys, I want to play this campaign so much right now. This is like a whole scenario here that I want to play out.
Character creation goes, because every time we make a cat, I'm like, God, I want to play this system so I can play this cat. But we've made so many at this point that playing all of them and realizing their full potential is just kind of undoable for us.
Yeah. But for you, the listener, you could go to bit.ly/literalcatpod and download every character sheet.
You have the technology. You could do it.
Live our dreams for us. Put these cats in your next one shot.
Yeah. Even if you use them as an NPC, I'd love to see it.
Yeah. Tell us all about it. And then on the off chance I ever get the wiki that I've been going on about for literal months now going, then we can put those stories on it or something. I don't know.
It's like AU story.
Honestly, this cat would also... I mean, the thing of, like, escape from the evil scientist and keeping tabs. Honestly, this cat could itself be a really great villain.
It could.
They could.
Somebody out there make this a threat in your game.
And the final question is, why do you care about the team? This is more about, like, the other player characters that you are playing with.
Yeah.
And I
Mhm.
don't think we can answer that one.
They have opposable thumbs. They have opposable thumbs.
That's the only reason. They can do my work
Like-
for me.
They can open. Yeah, they can.
Yeah, my mentor is not going to help me with science stuff.
They-
Maybe one of these guys will.
Yes. Yeah, they can pour things between beakers, and they can also open cans of tuna.
Open that can of tuna. What do we need? Okay, where do I pour it in at? You poured in my food bowl. I'm just hungry. Now you're gonna take the hydrogen peroxide and put it in the flask.
Let's see. Past this point, it's all like party stuff. The rest of that. So the next thing we need to do is protege moves, and that's choose 3. We've already talked about these, but those are, just for a quick refresher, been reading the files, which is the one where, like, you can go through your mentor's files on past battles and see if there's anything relevant to your current situation. There's captain, where if you enter the battle as a team and they are treating you as the leader, then you get a +1 team to the pool. Venting frustration, when you directly engage a threat while angry, you can roll the label that your mentor denies. In our case, that would be mundane, and clear angry. Fireside chat allows you to seek your mentor advice directly. Be mindful of your surroundings. Get a bonus question on the assess the situation roll if you do it before you begin an encounter. And then heroic tradition. Give someone advice that you think your mentor would give, and you can roll plus. In our case, that would be savior instead of mundane. Now, I think our character is going to try and boost his, like, superior and mundane as fast and as high as possible. Considering what he wants to do with his life, but while it's low, you could roll plus savior instead of plus mundane, because at first savior is going to be the better stat.
Yeah.
Now we have to choose 3 of those. There are 6. Are there any that, like, stood out to you guys, or?
Oh, be mindful of your surroundings instantly sticks out to me, because this cat is obviously, I think we put their ability as being, a genius.
Yeah.
I think immediately their first thing going into any situation would be, what is going on here? Like,
that makes sense.
It makes more sense when you think they can just read an enemy's mind and that's immediately you're in to get that extra bit of knowledge.
Yeah, that makes sense. So be mindful of your. I think fireside chat is mandatory.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, there's not going to be that many excuses to make the mentor a character in the game.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think like we have said, the mentor, like the label that the mentor embodies is
right
savior. So this mentor is going to love being asked for advice.
And again, because I think we have a knowledge-based hero, I think that means we got one left, and I think the one that makes sense is reading the files.
Yeah, been reading the files.
This cat has definitely been through all of his mentor's notes a dozen times over.
Yeah, and that's good for us mechanically as well, because that's a roll that's superior, at which is our highest stat right now. Cool. I'm very happy with all 3 of those.
Yeah, I think they all work well.
And then the final thing that we get to decide on our own is mentor's resources, where we get to choose up to 3 resources that the mentor gave you and the team. Protege, you get kind of sponsored by this big name superhero. And they will give you a hidden base, a vehicle, a supercomputer, communicators, surveillance equipment, fake IDs, badges of authority, a chem lab, med lab, teleportal, a weapon of last resort, security systems, or simple robots?
I can think of one specifically that really stuck out to me.
ChemLab?
And you're not going to believe it,
Yeah.
but it's actually a vehicle. No.
It's ChemLab, isn't it?
Yeah, it's KimLab.
Yeah.
All right. I think
I swear I did not see that when I suggested.
Yeah, I had
chemistry
no
earlier.
idea.
I didn't read ahead either, so this was as much of a surprise to me as it was the rest of you.
This is a great thing about not reading ahead before we start an episode. Sometimes things just work.
Yes.
What I think happened is the mentor gave them a hidden base and then a bit of a budget to get whatever equipment they wanted, and the cats like just immediately blew it all on a chem lab.
Yeah. So do we want to go with the hidden base as well, and it just has a chem lab in it?
Yeah, love that.
That makes sense to me, but like if you want to like say it was a hidden base, but then a bunch of shipping companies learned its address, so now it's not that hidden, or
Oh.
I think a cat would still want a hidden base. Like the cat would like keep some little hidey hole.
I feel like this
itself,
cat
I
is
feel
smart
like.
enough to know not to get materials delivered directly to the base.
yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, it has a lab
Yeah.
lab assistant to pick that up.
So, what's the third thing?
I feel okay, so it doesn't. I don't think it needs communicators.
No, the entire team can be patched into the cat's brain network.
Yeah. Some of these would just be very funny for a cat, like false identities or badges of authority.
What's up, Agent Whiskers, FBI?
Instead of like a dog tag or whatever hanging off the collar, it's a badge.
Yeah. Hey, where'd you get that? I'm on the force.
I'm all
Let's
for
do it.
that if we want.
Yeah,
if we
let's
want
do
just
it.
for silliness. Badges of
Let's do it.
authority.
Just remember, the rest of the team also gets to use these resources. So that means that everyone on the team also has... Do we want to say the entire team has tiny badges, or they just wear like the lawyer's pin from Ace Attorney, or...
Oh, man.
Yeah. Maybe they're like little tags that are supposed to be fit on a cat's collar, and
They've
then,
converted them into pins.
Nice.
yeah.
Everyone's like, those cannot be real. Scans them. They check out in the system.
It's like, no, you guys are in, huh? It's like, yeah, we like to keep a very
Amazing.
low profile.
All wearing incredibly colorful suits and carrying around a cat that has definitely been seen on TV fighting crime.
Yeah.
All right, that's character
That-
creation.
We have made a character. Oh, did we
Ugh.
decide what the moment of truth was?
We do not
Okay.
decide that.
We don't? Okay.
That gets decided during play.
Okay.
Same thing with team moves. Basically, the moment of truth gives you an adult move, and it means one of your specific labels can't be shifted anymore. And team moves, I don't remember what those do.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just like things that things that let you sort of buff or
Oh, we forgot to come up with a name.
I was about to say that. I was waiting for you guys to finish, but yeah, we do not have a hero name or a real name.
yeah.
That made filling out the backstory really hard because the entire time I was like, oh, lots of theys and thems thrown around.
Well, I mean, it's a cat intelligent enough to decide they could be a they them.
That's true. This cat is like, I've
Yeah.
evolved past the need for gender. please."
Yeah, I mean, this cat seems to be all about sort of defining itself. So
Let's let them be non-binary. Why not?
Okay.
okay,
And then, what's the big hero's name? Because I think that will help us determine our.
oh,
Because I think it's just gonna be like a play on that with cat tacked on to the end.
Oh man.
oh god,
Yeah, what is this mentor like? Okay, so they share telepathy. The mentor has superhuman strength. What about like the psychic boom? Like that's a mentor's hero name.
I like that.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
So I have a question then about hero name versus real name. And I mean, I think we can play this either way we want to. It could be that what we call the hero name is the name that this cat is currently known by publicly, that the mentor gave to the cat, and like their real name is I guess what does real mean? What does real name mean?
What name
in
did
this
the cat's
case?
mother give it?
Like, is it like yeah, or is it like the name that the cat has chosen for itself as it's like thinking about sort of like striking out?
Oh,
on
that's
its
another
own?
good
Or is that the hero?
possibility. Like, it's always been known as like okay,
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of like a
boom
cat
cat.
Cat.
has been the name that it's been called on TV and stuff since as long as it can remember.
Oh,
We could say that's the
hero name.
that's the hero name because because everyone just knows it as Boomcat.
yeah.
Uh,
It's like incredibly like
Yeah.
chonky cat. Just like, yeah, that's Boom Cat.
This cat packs a punch.
I think it would want to give itself like a really smart sounding name. Like, one moment, let me just get to the like Cecil maybe
Diesel.
or
Oh, hold on.
Florence.
Oh,
I love the idea of Cecil being a really smart sounding name. The only Cecil I've ever known was our regular handyman when I was a kid. And bless him, he was a very nice guy.
I feel like this cat would name itself something off the periodic.
You know what? I agree with that. I agree with that now that you've said it.
Like,
Yeah.
what do we got? Francium. No.
No,
What about Zirconio?
that could work.
Or like, what's a cat ion? A cat ion is something.
You know, honestly, I think antimony sounds kind of like it could be a name.
It's a movie.
It sounds like a little bit like a villain name.
Which
Antimony is a kind of a metalloid kind of thing. It's silvery, hard, brittle. It's used in semiconductors.
Man, I need one that's big enough to read.
typed in periodic table of elements, Google, and it gives you a pretty good periodic table.
Yeah.
You hover over everything.
I was just remembering
Yeah.
the Elements song, and that was the first one on the list.
Argon.
Argon is a good one.
Or xenon.
Xenon?
Isn't Argon a name of something from something? You know what? I said that. I literally can't remember where I was going with it. So
Think of Aragon?
maybe no, it's a Bakugan character.
Is it? Wait, is Argon a Bakugan character?
I'm
Bless
pretty
you.
sure. Yeah, it's a. I don't know what that's supposed to be, but it's this one.
Nice. Yeah, that goes hard.
Oh, okay.
God. Is it bad that I want to play Bakugan again?
I can't play Bakugan again. I sold all my Bakugan.
I did too, but what if I went and bought more Bakugan? Thoughts?
Mm. I don't know, man. As far as TCGs go, I'm pretty sure it is literally the most expensive one.
I think so, because not only do you have to buy all the cards for it, you have to buy the little guys.
Plus, all the booster packs contain way fewer cards.
Yeah.
Oh, you got one?
I maybe have one. Promethium.
Ooh.
Ooh, yeah.
I like that a lot.
Because it goes along with, like, you know, Prometheus, kind of.
Yeah.
Yep.
I also like the idea of this cat, like, going out in public and everyone's like, oh, look, it's Boomcat. And he's like, no, I'm Promethium.
Okay, sure. There you are.
My new hero name is Prometheum. I am going my own way, and I am a much more science-inspired hero now.
And they're like, but you're Boom Cat, come on.
Yeah, it is. For sure, the TV cameras are not going to follow
No.
Prometheum in the way they
No,
currently
they're like-
follow Boom Cat.
They're like, that you can't change your name. We've already decided.
But Nightwing used to be Rob. Yeah, but there's a new Robin.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, if you find somebody else to be the Boom Cat, and you can be Prometheum, sure. It's like, that's not how this works. That's not how names work. And they're like, I think we know.
Yep.
Just like, I can't remember where I was going with that.
I think we've made a cat.
I think we've made a cat.
I think this is a really good cat. I mean, all the cats you
Right,
make are good
this
cats.
one.
But this one is mechanically superior.
It's also the one that you participated in.
What? Am I not completely 100%
Bias.
what's the word I mean?
Just a
What-
little.
I think you're going for unbiased, objective.
Objective. There we go. That's the word I was looking for.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. No, I'm not objective when it comes to cats. This is true.
Anyway, yeah, everyone, we came up with a former sidekick who is desperately trying to strike it out on his own and make a name for himself, and he just can't do it on his own, which is why he's working with the other guys, right?
Yep. The psychic boom. Not anymore though. Not directly,
Doesn't want to be
Big part of
Boomcat anymore. He wants everyone to know him as working out at the library, not at the gym.
Your gains are physical, mine are mental.
Anyway.
My brain and muscles are huge.
Yes.
So, anyway, with that out of the way, and our cat thoroughly established, backstory and all, in a way that you could literally just sell this to anyone, and they would be like, yeah, you didn't even have to break any rules to do this. Just go for it, man.
Yeah, we didn't break any rules.
We usually don't when it's a superhero system.
That's true. Superhero
sense.
systems are very lenient about who you can play or what you can play as.
That makes sense.
So-
Like, you don't have to play as a human. Oh, so I can play as a cat? Well, I didn't say that, but
But you're not wrong.
You can't not play as a cat.
Airbud rules, am I right?
Exactly. Show me the rule that says a dog can't play basketball.
Laura, you want to tell us about like your mixtape and or where to find you online or whatever?
Well, all my mixtapes are in a crate to the right of me. They're in a shoebox in a milk crate, and I can see them right now. Unfortunately, I cannot share them with you.
Understandable.
Yes, but you can find stuff that I'm doing currently online. Best place to find me for gaming things is still Twitter. I am General McMill on Twitter, which is GeneralMcmill. And you can find me with the $2 creature feature crew. We are 2, as in the numeral $2 creature, all one word, on Twitter and Instagram and Facebook and anywhere else we might be in the future. And you can, if you find us on Twitter, you can also find our fan Discord there, which everyone is very welcome to come hang out and talk about not only $2 creature feature, but also food and cats and other games you're doing and whatever else.
Austin, what about you?
Oh man. Well, currently not dropping any mixtapes. Haven't started producing music yet. But I do be on Twitch, and I think let's see, when did this happen? Last weekend? Yeah, so we've not recorded since. But I finally got affiliated on Twitch. So now people can subscribe.
Hey.
Thank you. I've got most of the stuff set up to be, a real cool streamer. I got TTS and all that working.
Took him long enough.
Listen. It took me a day.
Yeah, a day of wasted bits.
One person donated a bit. I think they're fine. But no, it's fun. I've been using channel points to, make some cool redeems. I'm probably going to be doing an art stream at some point in the future to actually make, emotes and everything for all that, but I'm still just playing games. Just recently finished playing Borderlands 2 on UVHM, Ultimate Vault Hunter mode, for those of you that don't know. And I'm moving on to some other games, like Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order, and maybe another run of Elden Ring, anything else that comes out. But that's what I'm doing there. You can find me on Twitch, Twitter, and Tumblr at Avalon Alchemist, all one word, capitals on the A's of both words.
As for me, I am on Twitter and Tumblr at Denala Lioge. That's my name spelled backwards. I'm not gonna bother spelling it out for you here. You're not gonna know how to pronounce that either. It's okay. I understand. It's not a name taken for any iconic reasons. It is literally just convenience. So if you want to find my Twitter, Tumblr, and whatever else I might be on, go to jholland.start.page, and that is spelled like it sounds, JHOLLAND .start.page, and you can find my Twitter and Tumblr there. You can also go to literalcatpod.start.page, and there you can find a link to our email, where still, to this day, nobody has sent us cat pictures.
It is a true tragedy, honestly.
You can be the first person to email us a cat picture. Man, it's gonna be funny. One of these days, I'm gonna have to edit out us shaming people for not sending in cat pictures because somebody is going to actually do it.
Yeah, before the episode goes up.
And it's just gonna be me saying email, and then it cuts off to the next thing.
Yeah.
I was gonna do it, but I feel like now I can't.
I mean,
I can't
you.
both be here. I can't both be here for you saying that and then also be the cause of that happening. That feels like cheating.
Yeah, besides, you've got us added on Discord. You could just send us cat pictures through Discord if you really wanted to.
Oh, that's true. Sure. Okay, well, I'll wait for somebody else to do it, and then I can...
Most people don't have that privilege.
Yeah.
Maybe we should start a Discord so people can... we just have a cat picture channel in the Discord.
Oh, I dropped so many pictures of Genji in there, it'd be unreal. I have a picture of him literally looking like an old man Facebook profile photo. And it is my favorite picture of him of all time. It's so good.
And anyway, you can also find us on Twitter and Tumblr at Literal Cat Pod. Those are also linked from the start page. The YouTube is linked there. I figured out what was up with the handle. I had to include the @ sign in front of Literal Cat Pod. So it's youtube.com/@literalcatpod.
I think they recently made that change. Because I've seen
I don't know what the rules are there, but
I've seen it pop up when people get featured on YouTube videos. They put ats now.
yeah.
Yeah, they just established handles as a thing, so it's probably that.
Well, more like brought them back, because I still have my original handle from before they got rid of them in the first place on my other YouTube channel.
Excellent.
Just reinventing the wheel over at YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. If only they didn't do Google Plus in one channel, then maybe we would all still have handles.
Man, I gotta get my Google Hangouts squad back. I never had one. Nobody used Google. And if you did, you're not real.
It would also be nice if you could all rate and review the podcast, especially since we just made a literal cat in your favorite RPG.
Yeah, Deborah.
Ashley. Okay, Deborah.
And Ashley.
Ashley Deborah. Hyphenated.
I'm sorry for that unfortunate first and middle name combo you have there, Ashley Deborah Watkins. I don't know.
That's gonna pay off in like 30 years. Trust.
Yeah. Some listener right now whose last name is Watkins and has a daughter on the way is like, well, name's been chosen. We gotta play this for them on their 10th birthday after teaching them Masks a New Generation.
Yo. Like, Mom, Dad, where'd you guys get my name from? Well, we were listening to this podcast about cats.
Man, I think this is going to be the last time this bit is funny, too.
You think so?
It is the third time we've done it.
But someday, if we keep doing it, the law of large numbers stays.
Yeah, but also, the comedy rule of threes.
Ah, true. Yep, you're right. It's over, folks.
Next time, we gotta find a new bit to get people to rate and review us.
True.
Also, none of the episodes in which we've done this bit yet have even aired, so...
Oh, shit. Yeah.
First one airs tomorrow, actually.
Yeah, we'll know if this pays off by the end of the week, surely.
Yep.
There you go.
All we need is one person to rate and review us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or Podchaser. Those are the ones that I know about personally.
Yeah, I don't know about either.
And I know I mentioned this earlier, but we do have all of the character sheets available for download. Right now, you can go to bit.ly/literalcatpod, and it will take you to a Dropbox folder containing all of the character sheets. Now, I might have to remake that soon, because, I don't know, it may be nothing, but it sounds like Dropbox is going through some changes, and I don't know how that's going to affect storing stuff there. But it could be nothing, so this could be nothing. We'll find out together down the road. But anyway, that's all from the typical news. Now for the atypical news. We are, at this point, exactly one episode away, as in the next episode we air will be the beginning of anime summer season.
Let's go! I'm so ready. I am so hyped.
Yeah. I don't know, do we think we can go ahead and say, like, because I already know exactly what game we're doing first.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's give him the teaser.
Alright, we're doing Maid first, because why not?
Yes! I'm so excited. This is going to be great.
We should try and get that one streamer friend of yours who wears maid dresses to
join
us.
My god. I'm sure they would love to. I will ask them.
Excellent.
Anyway, that's all from us. I think, unless Austin has a pun for us.
I do, Joel. I'm locked and loaded this time. Y'all ready for this?
Not even a little bit.
Okay, all right. DMCA, let's calm down. Regardless, I hope you all had a fun time, both the hosts and the listeners. I think this episode was really, really good. Until next time, I hope you guys have a perfect week.